Yobachi 2007 back at you with another one. And we got to get in on what's happening, the latest in Jada Pinkett reveling and humiliating her husband, Will Smith, which is just a regular occurrence for her over the past few years. Starting with bringing her husband onto her failed internet show to let the world know that she friend slept with her son's friend, her teenage high school age son, or just out of high school age son's friend. She has taken opportunity after opportunity to every few months come back to the internet and in some way humiliate Will Smith some more. She revealed in recent years that he wasn't hitting it right, and that was a thing not too long ago. Obviously, she got him into the situation with Chris Rock, but pretends like she has no fault in that and has no accountability. She rolled him up under the bus after that happened and then did it again in this interview that we're getting ready to look at now. But right before we do that, can you take a moment to like this video? I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. It's free and it'll help me out a lot. So just hit that like button real quick and we'll get right back to the program.
That surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Just look at the joy and self-satisfaction on her face talking about it.
That you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Did you see that self-satisfaction? That self-satisfying smirk she had on at the end, coming out to reveal her basically her deception and how happy she is to have been apart from her husband for the last 7 years while she's humiliated him all this time. And I guarantee you one thing: she hasn't been apart from his money. But I did this as my thumbnail. I put this together because when she talks about it, she does this big gesture and putting her hands apart and has that smile on her face. She's talking about the dissolution of her marriage and separation from her husband and the man she's supposed to love and who's jumping out the window out here to protect her and act a fool and destroy his career and reputation over her. And she could care less. It doesn't mean anything to her. Both the wrecking of her marriage and revealing her 7 years of deception to her 7 years of deception up to the public for her is just hilarious. And that's that narcissistic smiling and smirking you see from her. This woman is evil. She's really, I think, is evil. And I used to love Jada Pinkett, right? She was on a different world. She played this little pro black feisty little chick, and no, she was down for the cause, and I really loved it. And I mean, this is even after her prime. This is just a few years ago, and it's like, no, like she's a tiny little thing, but man, that's a beautiful tiny little package. But I just seen what kind of person she is, and this gets back to what we've talked about with the Jeannie Mai videos, with the Tamar Braxton video. You can't just look at this exterior. You can't look at the outside and get enthralled with the woman, how she presents, what representative she sends to you. These are not, these types of women do not wish men well. They're very self centered. I mean, they are just a disaster to your life and can bring a man nothing but terror. You have to look beyond this exterior and get past being enthralled with the representative that she sends to you at the beginning. Here's more commentary she had on the situation.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, well, why it fractured, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
He probably thought you should just be a decent, loving wife. If you have heard Jada Pinkett Smith talk about how they got together in the first place, she said she never wanted to get married. She never wanted this guy. And instead of him walking away and understanding, yeah, she's really invigorating being with her because she's got this very feminine representative. She's very alluring. She gives me great energy. All that's nice and well, but this woman really doesn't want me and really doesn't respect me. And knowing and understanding that she never will. Just because you can coax her into being in a relationship with you, just because you can coax her into accepting marriage, and she doesn't really want you, doesn't really like you, doesn't really see you as the guy that makes her tingle, and doesn't really want to be with you, it'll never work. She's always going to resent you. She's never going to respect you. You can't just manufacture respect out of a woman. If it's not there, it's never going to be there. This woman is so devious. She's so out in the open with how much her husband, how much Will Smith doesn't do it for her, that her daughter, when she was like 13 years old, somewhere around 11, 12, 13 years old, wrote a letter that she then posted on the internet to the world, begging for begging for dead Tupac to come back to life to, quote, come make my mother happy. This Will Smith's daughter is writing a letter basically saying, come, dead Tupac, who she never met. He had been dead many years before she was born, asking Tupac to come back and make my mother happy because my mother has so expressed and made it clear that my daddy can't do the job, that my punk's daddy ain't up to the task, that his daughter is even humiliating him on behalf of his wife publicly. This is how she got this man's daughter humiliating him. So I was trying to find this one clip from Red Table Talk where it real seemed like he had gotten the message and told her, if clearly I can't make you happy. Go figure out, go find your own happiness and go figure it out. And what they kind of made it seem like at that time, this was around the whole time where we find out that she was screwing her teenage son's friend, and they made it out that they had been separated for a while, but they had made it like they had come back together. And at this time that they're having these talks, they're back together. But we now find out that's a lie. They've been apart all this time. Why is this dude going up through this? Well, a woman he's not even with. But again, I guarantee you she's still with his money. Anyway, I couldn't find that clip. And here's another equally revealing clip. And I saw this before too. Equally revealing about just how devious and cold and just so self-centered and unappreciative this woman is. I mean, she is really a vile piece of work.
And we were talking about the next day, and there were things planned for the next day, and she said, I'm not sure I want to do anything the next day.
I just wanted to have intimate time.
Just intimate time. And I was like, well, I'll cancel tomorrow. She was like, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Right? And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego.
Ooh.
There goes his daughter. She's even she understands probably how hurtful that is, even after her mom has gotten her to participate in his humiliation. But this guy set this up for himself. Look at him here. This is very common. He does this all the time, where they go out to award shows and he stands back and opens his arms wide to present her as the goddess, and he's just her servant boy. He's constantly jumping out the window for her. Spent 3 years planning her birthday party for her 40th birthday, and she just slammed him for it. He had put together this whole thing for her with her grandma and tapes of some things she had never. Just jumping out the window for her. constantly putting her on this pedestal above him. And it's like the saying that men say in men's spaces goes, if you treat her like a star, she'll treat you like a fan. You have to have respect from the woman. She should have a bit of awe of you and looking up to you with a certain level of respect and a little bit of awe for you. Not you bowing down and putting her on display above you on a pedestal. All of this just feeds the ego of a woman like Jada Smith. And somebody with this kind of ego is just a wreck. Again, Will brought it all on himself, so it's kind of hard to feel sorry for him. And I really never have all this time because this guy's just constantly jumping out the window for her, jumping up on that stage to go smack Chris Rock because he put that battery pack in his back, knowing that Tupac is her real choice and that she's alpha widowed, and he wanted to go when she made that stupid face when he was laughing about the Chris Rock joke, looked over at her. She gave that look and that put that battery pack in his back. I got to go try to be thuggy because my wife don't respect me. She's still over here yearning for a dead man, which she had said again 2 weeks ago. She's come out again and humiliated him, talking about how much she misses Tupac. Just, just never stops. But I actually feel a little bit sorry for the guy because I'm at the point I think she must have put a hex on this guy, like legit, like she must be a witch and put some kind of hex on this brother because it doesn't make any sense. He's not even with her, and he's still taking all of this humiliation and just disrespect from her non-stop. It's crazy. But guys, you guys gotta just get over being enthralled with women. They're just some people. Only bring respectful women into your life and into your house. You can't do without respect. Like me up, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit that bell to make sure you're getting notifications to come back for more as we continue to analyze for men's mind state. You'll watch you 2007.